I've said it. Now, my personal opinion is that Trump is going to win by a lot.
Maybe he will.
I actually believe that he's going to win by a lot.
I mean, based on all of the early voting trends, it would suggest that he's probably going to win and win comfortably. Now, anything is possible.
But do the Democrats start setting ballot boxes on fire and blaming the Republicans for doing it? Who knows?
Well, of course. And that's why I'm very skeptical of what's really going on, because there's a number of those stories that's been happening. But ultimately, yeah, the early voting trends, particularly in Arizona and Nevada, are strongly suggesting that Trump's in a very good position.
I agree. I'm with Norman.
Yeah, well, we will see. But what
I'm basing it on, you know what? I'm basing it on facts and numbers. Joe barely won during a pandemic.
And
he sucks. And like it's so clear. And they're committing a genocide. And there's all these variables. And again, Biden barely won. And Kamala has less popularity.
And David, don't forget, they didn't do one, they did 2 national swing state advertisements attacking Jill Stein.
I love it.
Like if that's not screaming, we're going to lose.
All they do is blame Jill Stein and say, I'm better than Trump. And people are sick of it.
They should be.
Only people that every time they put out an ad like that, all it is it's confirmation bias for the libs that are already like in with that.
And let me say,
no one else finds that remotely like persuasive.
And let me say one more thing. JD Vance just went on Joe Rogan this afternoon. And let me tell you something. If you thought that Trump's interview was good, JD Vance really comes off like just a regular talking person in a way that the Democrats are.
He's a little kind of creepy to me.
He can be.
He's creepy.
But listen to the interview. I've already listened to like an hour of it. What I'm saying is, do not underestimate the ability for Republicans to connect with voters in a way that the Democrats just can't seem to do anymore.
No.
AOC going on Morning Joe.
Well, that's her audience. Her audience is the same audience as the View audience. She is AOC Pelosi. And so once you're in that's the echo chamber that you're now in. She only speaks to those people now. Progressives, actual leftists, actual people that are in the fight. They don't listen to AOC. They haven't listened to her. Even if they did back when she won in 2018, nobody takes her seriously anymore.
The only thing I hope is that if Trump does win, if he wins, I hope he wins the popular vote, because that will force the Democrats to have to regroup. They won't have a choice, because it will be a referendum. They've always hung on to this, well, we're more popular, so it doesn't matter.
I don't think so. I think he's going to win both.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying if he does win, then I can only hope that he does, because I don't need to hear, again, they're going to call him an illegitimate president if he wins again anyway.
They're already figuring out who they're blaming. Yeah.
So when the media manipulates the messaging that actually goes out, they will distort what is said. Now, let me tell you, there is no distorting what President Biden said the other day about Trump supporters. But the media did their damn darndest to try to pretend that he didn't actually say this.
He said it.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Deplorables.
Is there any misinterpretation of what was just said? I don't think so.
I mean, you could call the comedian who said that garbage fairly and be like, that's kind of a garbage thing to say. But once you start referring to you're so out. But again, he's just reading and barely able to keep his eyes on the teleprompter.
No, but what Hinchcliffe said, being that, he's an insult comic, and Rogan said as much, said he had no business being at that rally.
There's
that. That was a bad move. It's not that what he was saying wouldn't work in a comedy club. It would, but this was not the right venue.
No, it was a bad venue. Yeah. But Tim Black pointed out that, and again, I didn't go and check, but I do believe Tim, that if you actually listen to his whole thing, he was talking shit about all sorts of people.
No, yeah, absolutely.
He was talking shit about all different groups, and he went,
But
so
really
I'm just saying, like, and if that's the case, then it's sort of like a dice situation where it's like,
but that's the thing. It's this whole idea of they're so desperate to latch onto something as if to suggest that, you see, he insulted them, so you got to vote for us.
Well, maybe they saw an opening in their Puerto Rican poll numbers and thought we could pull that out and use that and focus on that. Maybe if it had been they had better polling with another group, they would have focused on that insult that he made.
But the Dems really, they resort to to rage politics just like the Republicans do. They just do it in their own way. Let's finish out the clip.
His demonization of Tina is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
But Trump didn't insult anybody.
And yeah, and you know what? I would suggest there is a reason that Puerto Rico is in a bad way. There is a reason that they have so much that is bad about their infrastructure and why they have so many problems there. Why is nobody diving into even that? Because, you know, last I checked, we really left them screwed after that hurricane. I want to say it was Maria, that decimated them, and we didn't help them. We didn't help them. They were basically like, "Oh, you're on your own." So it's, you know, it's one thing to talk about.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you. About Puerto Rican people and, you know, say derogatory things. But as far as the actual island, yes, it probably could use a little bit of a boost. Maybe we should, I don't know, take better care of our people. That would just be, you know, my theory. And, you know,
we got to take care of the Ukrainians and the Israelis,
and not have something that makes that island be the butt
Remember,
of a joke.
Jen, brown people can't help them.
I'm just, you know,
not allowed.
I'm just saying we could discuss that, but
Jen,
nobody wants to discuss that. I think we should discuss how poorly we treat Puerto Rico in general. Like
brown
this was an opening, an opportunity to discuss that.
Can't help them
because the Puerto Ricans have their whole own, you know, plight, their whole own issues, their whole own shit.
We must insult them.
Well,
we must
right.
insult them.
But again, I don't, again, to me, that didn't come off like an insult to the Puerto Rican people.
No.
And yet I get that would be, but if he just sat there and made derogatory comments about all groups, then my only thing is, not the best venue for a roast. But to me, if somebody roasts everybody, I kind of feel like people need to pull up their big girl panties.
Well, don't ever let a good opportunity go by somebody like Donald Trump.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
It's a really great truck. It was the greatest. It was the greatest garbage truck you've ever seen. My people aren't garbage. They're sweet, wonderful, incredible people.
It's
that
just
image.
It's just great. It's in the garbage truck with the neon vest. Yeah, I mean, he'll, of course, they are so imploding, and he just takes it for all it's worth. Like he really, he knows how to market.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Dump truck Trump. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
He is, he's a piece of work. But again, their strategy is really not working. It's just not working. It's not playing well with people. It's the condescension and the elitism is so disgusting to people, especially right now and with what's going on. He just comes off much more appealing. To regular people, he just does. He comes off more appealing.
Donald, I will definitely agree with you. I love Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. Yes. This is
and
so great.
I'm good with that. But that's, again, I don't think that was the proper venue. People just are too quick to get all like agitated.
And Adam, that is not surprising at all because she is a slime bag of a politician. Like
she's got to figure out what her next move is, where she's going to land.
Trust
and
me,
she needs
love to go to the Democratic Party, but
they won't have her.
They won't have her.
Although I don't know why.
Yeah, well,
she's totally in line with them. What's her
Kamala,
problem?
well, you know what? I guarantee you, she probably tried to negotiate something with Kamala, and they just didn't see a place. She's like, could you imagine? They thought that they had more of a place with Liz Cheney than they did with Nikki Haley.
Well, I'm just picturing like Nikki Haley going over to the left, and it's like we swapped her and Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, well, it's guys. Do you not see the scam?
It's just so ridiculous.
It's
so ridiculous.
Come on, it's so obvious.